Peter Franklin, the Gabby Cabbie. He'll take you around to places that you've never. It's the taxi tour, but almost a VIP taxi tour because it's Peter doing the driving. Good morning, Peter Franklin.
Good morning. Live from the White House in Washington, D.C. I've come down a little bit early to get a good seat.
Sounds like you're in the bathroom of the White House, is what it sounds like.
Yes, as a matter of fact, let me start again. Yeah. Live, this is Peter Franklin from the bathroom.
Hey,
actually, I happen to be standing in a shower, but it's too complicated for me to explain.
Got it. Understood. I'm not going to ask. And I got to tell you, though, that how about these temperatures lately? I was seeing pictures from New York. Last Thursday, it was 65 degrees in Central Park.
That's right.
I mean,
absolutely amazing.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what. Well, I mean, that's not unique to me, but nobody knows what to wear in the morning.
Yeah.
Today, I think it's going to be in the 50s or something or other. But it really is weird. I always ask people now, would you like the air conditioning on?
Listen, I saw there's a sad story out of Coney Island. You know, the Ringling Brothers Circus has announced, but so has the Pickle Guys too on Coney Island. They're closing up shop.
Yeah, well, two different situations, of course. One is because the animal rights people have been after the circus for years and years and years. And I've said many times that a lot of the stuff that they said about Ringling Brothers wasn't true because you might remember at one point my wife and I were clowns for the Ringling Brothers.
I do remember that. I remember you talking about that. That kind of hits home.
And we went to check out the animals at that time, and they weren't being mistreated. And if they were, I'd be the first to tell you.
Yeah.
So that's one situation. The other situation, as far as the pickle people go, is a lot of retail businesses in New York City are just being driven out of business because of the rents.
Right.
It's just unbelievable. I tell people, as you ride around New York City, you do not see apartments for rent or stores for rent. It's really like a full house. And because of that, the landlords have gone just absolutely nuts with their rates.
So a lot of these older businesses that have been around for a long time, they just aren't able to afford to keep going.
Yeah, and also I think it's a generation thing, too. You know, that Grandpa starts the business, and he's very frugal, and he runs it very clearly and nicely and everything. Then the next generation takes over, and they also contribute to screwing it up. But it's a lot of the charm of New York City is leaving. You know, it might come to the point where people are going to say, why do I have to go to New York City? I get the same thing in Ithaca.
Yeah. NYPD lieutenant tasked with rooting out corruption instead conned taxpayers by working a second job at Yankee Stadium during the police shifts. How about this one?
It's really great. I mean, it's really biting the hand that feeds it. This guy's job was to make sure that cops didn't, when they were on the job, be working as security people off the job, so to speak. I mean, that was his responsibility. He was supposed to ferret out the wrongdoers. And it turns out he's been working at Yankee Stadium, which a lot of cops do, on the side, getting paid. And you can't do that. You can't get two paychecks. It's a great idea. It'll figure out a way that you and I could do it. But only one paycheck at a time.
Probably a better way to do that than the corrections department employee, the CO who decided that when she wasn't working as a corrections department employee, she was working out of a motel.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe. I mean, do you think that a woman would do that kind of stuff for money? I'm just flabbergasted.
What was the story on this? She said a sexy petite body, but her last customer turned out to be an undercover officer who signaled for backup after she offered to have sex with him for $120, by the way.
She probably wasn't petite enough.
Probably not. How about I'm looking at some of these other stories. How about the story of the victim that was hit around 9:30 p.m. by a vehicle northbound on Ocean Parkway in Sheepshead Bay and was attempting to cross the street? What happened there?
Well, it's listen, I tell people the two biggest dangers you have in coming to New York City is you're going to either get fat or you're going to get hit by a car. I mean, it's just absolutely outrageous. And we're getting more and more hit and runs. You know, at least in the good old days, if you had the inability to control your car and hit somebody, you'd stop and wait around. But no, it's become a very serious problem. And my travel advisory this morning is if you're coming to New York City, boy, you be careful crossing the streets. You don't have to worry you're going to get mugged or anything. You're going to get run over by a car.
I want to switch, if I can, to some politics. Of course, New York is the epicenter of the we can look to Washington, being the inauguration coming up on Friday, but New York is the epicenter. There's still people complaining that it's costing money, and the security and the businesses around Trump Tower aren't able to make the kind of money they were. What are you hearing as we get close to Friday?
That's a bunch of baloney. I mean, if anything, it's enhanced the business in that area. You got mobs and mobs of people who are going there just to see the building, to be in the neighborhood. I mean, it's a very upscale neighborhood to start off with. If you're buying something in a store in Trump Tower, you got bucks to begin with. But nobody's losing any money on it. And as far as I remember, I can think in my own lifetime, this guy is not getting. See, now I refer to the president-elect as this guy. This guy, I don't think is spending any more money on security than any other president. There's just people won't tolerate the fact that he actually won. They're just never going to give up.
And of course, you're seeing people that are boycotting, and it just seems to be everything that's going on right now just seems to be so unprecedented. But of course, the spotlight goes to Washington on Friday, and you're a supporter. You've been a supporter. He's a New York guy, Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, I think now it's time to give the guy a chance. And also, I really don't remember him being such a bad guy until he started running for office. Then all of a sudden became a bad guy, a terrible guy, this, that, and the other thing. Give the guy a break. Let's give him at least 3 days in the White House before we jump on him. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, here's my prediction. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay. Obama's going to announce that the election is null and void. They're going to do it again, and Hillary will win the next time.
Okay. This is going to happen on Thursday of this week.
Right, exactly. At about 11 a.m.
All right. Well, someday we'll find out why you were in the shower this morning, but we appreciate your time, Peter, as always. It's Gabby.com, by the way. And as I said, best tour in New York City if you get the opportunity. Awesome tour in New York. It's Gabby.com. Details are all up there on the website.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Peter. And good luck with your shower.
Bye.
Okay. Peter Franklin, the Gabby Campy, in a shower. It sounded like there's like people around the house sleeping because he was talking very, very quietly.
Oh.
And maybe the shower is the most quiet place that you can go for some quiet, I guess. Hold tight.